Oh my gosh. Hey, hey, hey. We're on a walking tour of Rome.
Italy, baby.
We've been to.
Who is the best travel agent in the world? Yes.
Welcome to Glamour Travels with Pop Pop. We are becoming travel nomads and we are going to travel the world. Shouts out to our subs, the OG Travel Tribe. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?
Hi, I'm Tamara Peacock, along with my husband Frank Peacock, affectionately known as Grandma and Pop Pop.
We're the co-owners of Glamour Travels, and we've been in business since 2016, providing extraordinary vacations for extraordinary people just like you.
And now we're on a new journey.
Yes.
And we've decided to bring you all along. So if you find our content useful, helpful, entertaining in any way, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons.
Yes, and follow along.
Make sure you check the box so that you get notifications when we post new videos.
Yay, yay.
So it's been about 2 weeks since we were last here. How long do we have to go until our move?
61 days.
61 days until we leave the United States for...
No, 61 days until we move out of here.
Okay, 61 days until we begin our journey away from the United States to Merida, Mexico.
Yes, our first stop.
Our first stop, where we plan on spending the next 12 to 18 months to 2 years being traveling nomads.
Yes.
Looking to see different places and experience different things.
We're going to be homeless.
Frank likes saying we're going to be homeless. Like, we're doing something that we've never done before.
Yes.
And just ready for all the different things that come along with it.
Yes, we are. Well, as they come.
As they come.
Yes, as they come. That's a little bit better because, shoot, we don't know what awaits us.
That's very true. Okay, so for the last 2 weeks, what have we been doing? We've been packing, getting smaller,
going through my side of the closet, which I didn't realize had so much stuff still. After downsizing a couple of times, it still has a bunch of stuff that I was hanging on to. I mean, from my first day at Walgreens, I still had scrubs from Ivy Tech. I still had some green scrubs from when I was in school.
It's been a while. Never gonna wear those again.
No. And my work scrubs, I got rid of those.
Yeah,
I was holding on to those. I did keep 2 pairs of coveralls from the Navy, though. You know, I could fit them again. I might, if I got to get dirty.
Never know. Never know. Got to keep those Navy memorabilia. Yes. And that's okay. We paid enough for that stuff.
Yes, we did.
So as we've been planning, we've been thinking about some things like banking.
Yes, and how are we going to bank out of the country while still maintaining our banks in America?
Yeah. How's that going to work? Like, what happens if we lose our ATM card or...
Right, because you can't... It's not like I could go into, like just recently, 2 weeks ago, like what happens to almost everyone now, I got hacked. So when I went into the bank, they processed me a new card right away. That's not going to be an option for us, you know?
And then sticking to a budget that is not in US dollars is going to require some maneuvering. So we kind of made some decisions about separating money that we're going to use and sticking to our budget while we're gone.
Yes, with the budget. I mean, not with the budget. With our first stop being Merida, and the Mexican peso is fluctuating pretty aggressively between the lowest 16 point, and between 17 points. So it's a lot of fluctuation, as far as how our money will change while we're there. So we're just preparing for that.
That's right. Trying to get ahead of things as we can. Won't be able to get ahead of everything, and
Nope.
that's life. Speaking of life, one thing that we haven't actually necessarily dived into, but I know that we're going to. We kind of looked at it when we got our stuff from Move Abroad and Thrive.
Yes.
Was the living will.
Yes.
And what happens if we die? Because that probably will look different for both of us.
Yes, it will.
Because if I die, then to find the nearest mortuary, cremate me immediately for as cheap as possible in whatever country I'm in, and then take my ashes somewhere and do whatever you want to do.
You can do that with me too.
Oh, okay. Well, then we need to put that in writing.
Yeah.
Because that needs to be understood. Like, I imagined that you would want me to take you home to your mom so that you could have a funeral, and I don't want any of that. I don't need any of that.
I understand.
Now, if my family decides to take like a cruise or go to an all-inclusive resort and take a picture of me and like party in my honor, I'm down for that. I'll be there in spirit for sure, but as far as like spending money on repatriating my remains, that doesn't make any sense when the thing that I love most, other than my family, is traveling. And so if something happens to me as I'm traveling, then let me lie where I fall, cremate me, and then take my ashes to my family and let them, do what they got to do from there.
I agree. Let's keep it as cost sensitive as possible, because hey, I'm always thinking about the money.
He's always thinking about the money, and I'm always thinking about I really just don't see the point. I never did. I never saw the point in putting anyways.
It's just some things you have to cover, even though it's something you don't want to talk about, but you still have to cross all those T's and dot all those I's in life. And the longer you put off those things, you're just putting it on your family, to not know your wishes. So I do recommend that everyone having a will for that.
And a living will. So if something happens to you and you can't speak for yourself, it's clearly understood this is the person that you want to speak for you.
Right.
Whoever that is.
And we've seen some things in both our families when people die. We don't want any of that stuff.
I don't want to be a burden.
No.
I don't want to be a burden. So
try not to be one now.
No, and I don't want to leave too much on your plate either, because if I go before you, I want to make it as easy as possible. Though, no, my wife wanted to go to the nearest mortuary. There's the number right there. Call the mortuary and send her body over there, because that's what she wants. She does not want us to spend any money on any life insurance to go to taking care of the grandkids.
Also though, for the military side, we probably need to find out what you need from me.
And we do
that stuff.
Yeah, we do.
That is. So we can do that here. We got 61 days. We need to set up the appointment. We got a base here. Take care of that right there, so we'll take care of that.
And because we're not actually leaving the country for a certain place for a long period of time, we are maintaining a residence here in Florida.
Yes.
So we will have our business based from Florida, but our business has changed.
Yes, it has.
So we'll maintain all of the Florida things that we need to maintain. We'll keep our contacts. Everything will stay the same. The difference will be we will no longer be capable, or we will no longer have the capacity to service individual clients in certain situations. So, we do have our specialties, and we're happy to help people that want to go to Sandals, happy to help people that want to get on Virgin Voyages cruises, happy to help people that want to see Alaska for the first time, or people that want to come to Mexico, because those are things that
we're going to be specializing in.
We're solid on.
And we got our groups, baby. Come on with us.
And we have our groups. So Definitely still going to be here for the people, but it'll look different.
Yes.
It'll
I'm
look
excited
completely
about.
different. Go ahead.
I have a little bit of anxiety, and not about the move per se. It was more about getting ready at home. Sometimes looking at all of the stuff we still had, it added a little bit of anxiety for me this past week, but I've got over it. You know, I'm not alone. That's what I have to remember. You know, sometimes I get in my little cocoon. So once I got to talking about it, I was able to feel a whole lot better, and it wasn't even a big thing. Some things you just make big in your head, but that's why I'm glad we could communicate about it, and I was able to get past it.
Well, okay, anxiety and mental health and physical health all kind of coincide with each other,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And we're learning to be different than we were before. And learning that you're not alone also helps in so many different ways. I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine this week, and what we discussed was the phase that we are physically in our lives now, specifically speaking on menopause. And it's funny because I literally had this conversation with my dad, of all people. Don't ask me why I was talking about my daddy about menopause.
I'm glad I missed that one.
You didn't miss that conversation. I literally just had this conversation with my daddy, and I was telling him that for me, there's a frustration in the fact that the older women that I'm closest to in life haven't really experienced, because, you know, hysterectomies and different things happen so often for Black women. And so that's just not, and then Black women that do go through it, they just like silently suffer through. No one talks about the fact that you actually lose your entire mind. Like, no one talks about, like, no one says, oh yeah, I went crazy for 3 years, like, right. And then they just look at you like you're psychotic, like, or you've completely become a whole different person, and you're like, yeah, I pretty much have. And I wonder sometimes if for men it's like a midlife type of feeling, or
I could agree.
What is it? Like, maybe we're both just going through these different.
I know it was before this for me. I remember when we lived in Indiana, and we talked about this. I was going to the gym every night, Monday through Saturday. We're going to 24-hour fitness. And I remember I went to my doctor because I'm like, Doc, I know I should be getting stronger here. I see these guys picking up so-and-so at the pharmacy. I need some of that too. My doc was like, nope. Nope, you're not getting any of that. And I'm like, okay. But I know I felt different, and it was very humbling, and it has been.
And that's really interesting too, because me and my friend, when we were talking about how as Black women, it's very difficult to get the treatment that you'd like. Like, I call it the white woman therapy, but whatever, it's this hormone therapy, replacement therapy that they give to affluent other people.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen many African Americans pick up that medication in the 10 years I worked in Walgreens. Not saying that I picked it up from another store, but now that you say that, I didn't even think about it like that. Could be the area we lived in Indiana. There wasn't many Black people though.
I mean, whatever the reason, it just seems to be more difficult for us to get what we want, even when we ask for it. Like, when we go and say, hey, I need this, it's kind of like, nah, that's not really what you know, but they give it, you know, and it works. And you're looking at all these studies and you're just like, so anyways, one of the thoughts that I had was, maybe when we get to Mexico, I can afford to just go to a doctor that will actually listen to what I'm saying, and I can get
They come to your house the
They
way
come to
Carcass said, shit, you get a house
right.
call for $40.
That's right. So I'm going to look and see what it would cost for me to actually have the treatment that I want. And maybe that's something that I can plan for in the near future so that I don't always feel crazy, or I'm not going from a weeping mess to an evil wench to a, like all of these things, because all of these things contribute also to where we are in life.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine how difficult it is, like, for you to be living with me. Like, I mean, but if you're being completely honest, and we go back to like when this thing like really took full blown like hold of my life, like your initial reaction to it was like, what?
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but I've gotten used to it. Shoot, the crazy thing would to think that we wouldn't change. Just as we've grown together, we've changed. We're not the same people we were 29 years ago.
Nor would we want to be.
No.
I have let me just say, I love that little girl, but I have no desire to be her again. Like, I'm really cool with Grandma.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm happy right now. And so, okay, so that's us and our mental health and the changes that we're going through and the things that we're doing. So our thought process was we're going to leave everything and everyone behind, and we're going to go explore the world, and then things change, right?
Yes. Yes, they did.
And so it's not always going to go the way that you want it to go?
No, but hey, you adapt. That's the one thing I did learn in the military.
It's not always going to be a negative thing. Sometimes it'll be a really positive thing.
Yeah, I remember, and I try to use this in life. We were at all-inclusive, and we didn't like something that they had, and he was like, that's why Frank always goes different places to eat, because if one place doesn't have it, someplace else is going to have something you like.
That's right. That was Maury that did that, though.
Oh, it was Maury.
That was Maury.
I just do it on GP.
That was Maury. What happened was when we were at that all-inclusive in Punta Cana, and me and Maury went out to eat dinner one night. We went to a steak restaurant. It was delicious. The next night, we wanted to take you. Because you were on an excursion. That's why you didn't come to dinner with us, right?
True, yes.
So the next day, we were like, we want to take you to the steak place. We take you there, and the food was so gross. And so I was really upset. And Maury was like, but don't this place got like 9 different restaurants?
Can't we just go get something else?
Yeah. And that taught me such an important lesson.
Yes.
And from that point on, so I always want to give credit where credit is due. He really taught me something there. From that point on, I realized the power of, dang, if you change your thinking, you change because we went on, and then we went to another restaurant. We had a great time and good food,
and we went and got desserts from the other restaurant,
and then we went to another restaurant for dessert. So that's what's going on. It's all about perspective, but
your glass could be half empty, I could be half full.
That's right.
I choose to roll with the half full because I'm looking at the positive, and we talked about this before. It's not about negative and positive. We got to find that wave in the middle and ride that one, because that's the one that's the best. Things going to happen. Whether they're going to be good or bad, things are going to happen. It's just how we ride that wave when they happen. I'm one of those guys, when things are going great, I'm at the top. And then, when a couple of bad days come, especially the younger Frank, as we talk about him, oh, my world is coming to an end. The sky is falling. I was that little, what's the little bird with the eyeglasses? The sky is falling. But now,
in Lion King.
Yes, I'm trying to learn to ride that wave. It's difficult, but it's important. It's important for your health.
So one other thing that I wanted to bring up specifically was, as I've been watching all of these YouTube videos, one of the consistent themes of the videos seems to be people saying your family will say that you're crazy, or your family will say that you shouldn't do this, or your friends are going to, be discouraging. And I really wanted to say that has not been our experience at
not one iota. We have gotten nothing but support.
I mean, it's amazing.
Nothing but support.
Like, if people have something negative to say, they're keeping it to themselves. Thank you.
Yeah,
like, let me just say,
I couldn't handle the negativity.
Well,
I'm joking.
no, because negativity does creep inside of you. But the thing of it is that when we decided to share this journey, we had already made up our minds.
Yeah,
so it really didn't matter to us what anybody was going to say. Or
unless they was gonna come pay these bills,
and
then they can say whatever the heck they want to say.
But what ended up happening is we ended up with a entire village of people that just are coming through on a consistent basis, calling, saying all of the right things that are so helpful. Like on the last video that we did, we made a video and we said, well, we know that the generation before us, our, parents and our aunts and uncles make all these sacrifices, and I wonder what they think. And they started calling us and telling us what they think. And baby, it just reinforced for me, like, this is something that we really, really need to do for us, because I've long said that we stand on the shoulders of giants. I've always said that. I've always said I couldn't be who I am, and I couldn't have what I have, and I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for the people
that came before me.
And I know you feel the same way.
Yes.
And in the 29 years that we've been married, our families have fed into each other. So like, I feel about your aunts and uncles and cousins the same way that you feel about mine.
Yeah, we family.
And so I just want now, like,
even our sister cousins,
even all of that,
and our brother cousins,
all of that. I just want to be like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do what we said we was going to do, because that's what we were going to do anyway.
For example, I went and sold our cricket, and every time I saw something, I mentioned, hey, we're moving to Mexico. That's why I'm getting rid of all of this stuff. And I mentioned it to the person that bought the cricket, and the lady said, what part of Mexico? And I was like, Merida. She was like, oh, I've been there a few times. My husband is from Belize. And it just blew my mind, that we keep getting these confirmations, and I don't want to forget to say them out loud, that the path we're taking is the right first step, and we're going to continue this way. And and so you missed it this morning, but I'm going to share with you later. So I have a friend, Vicky, and her man, Rock. They do these different relationship bites on Facebook. I know you watch those. Okay, so yesterday they did a meditation, and you know that I've been practicing meditation and trying to center myself and refocus. And ever since we came back from Bali, I've really just breathe. So his business is Relax and Breathe, and I get so many, great tips and just things from him. And so watching their video yesterday, and it was a short video, like 15 minutes, and I watched it this morning because it was teaching meditation, and he talked about the path. I didn't watch that one. I need to watch it.
You'll watch it. He spoke about the path. And now you're talking about the path. And so that was what he said. He was like, you always have to be on the path. You always have to look for. And so I do believe, whether it's the ancestors, or whether it's God, or whether it's divine, or whether it's the universe, or just the ground beneath our feet, we seem to be being led in a direction. And when we give in to certain things, we've just never gone wrong. Again, I just have never had regrets for doing what I felt I should do. Agreed. So whatever comes of that, because it doesn't always end like where you thought. Like, maybe we thought when we bought that big fancy house, and we thought that we would retire there.
Yes, we did.
And be on the porch in our little,
I was trying to get a porch built like
rocking chairs.
So we could have that swing.
It's not, things don't always go how you think they should go, but that doesn't mean that they go wrong.
Right, just because they change sometimes before I was a leader in the military, change was always looked at as a negative. However, when you're a leader, you have to lead people, and you can't look at change as negative. You have to get your people to understand and believe in you that this change is good. And I did that in my workspace, but sometimes in your mind, it's not as easy to trick yourself.
Well, it's not. And then so many times, because some of the military training, I have to really get out of your head. So one of the things that I would correct in what you just said, or I would lovingly say to you, has been, change is not always good.
Right.
But change is always change.
It is. It's gone.
That's what I would say.
That's a constant.
Change is a constant. So you don't have to love it. It doesn't matter, but it's always going to happen.
It is.
And so whether things are good or whether things are bad, just stick around for a while.
Yeah. Like the other one's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Just wait long enough.
And and sometimes it could take a long time.
Like the people when we lived in San Diego, sometimes we wouldn't get rain in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
And then we get an El Nino.
El Nino.
So you might not get El Nino every year, but when you got it,
it's coming. So
it made up for all the drought.
And I've never been a patient woman, so I do understand not wanting to, wait on change. But I'm welcoming the idea to correct some of the behaviors that I have.
Some of the learned behavior of Americans. Cortez talks about waiting in the store, and I look forward to it because that's going to be I'm going to have to learn that. I'm going to have to learn patience because I've become very impatient. And it was from the last job of seeing lines. So lines make me very uncomfortable right now. So I'm going to have to find a way to work
maneuver.
On my... Just breathe.
We're going to figure it out. We'll relax.
Yeah, but I'm excited to go and that's something I'm excited to go and do. I'm looking forward to that change.
I'm looking forward to it all.
Yes.
Looking forward to it all.
Me too.
And everything that comes with it.
61 days.
I'm excited to bring our friends and family along on the journey. Hope that you all enjoy our content and just follow along. I mean, if
you have any questions about what we're doing, or if you're thinking about doing it too,
just let us know. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you want to know something about something you want us to address in one of their upcoming videos, we're going to try our best to continue posting once a week at least, just to keep you updated on how things are going and then
where we are in our stages. And no matter what, we leaving here July 1st.
So no matter what, we're starting a new journey.
Yes, we up out of here.
And welcome along with us.
Yes.
Peace.